Oh, Shio. How's it going? I wanted to ask you something. Have you ever seen that? I'll be honest. There's a YouTuber who goes by I'll be honest. That's his username. You see that title for that one video? I think it was by Paul Washer. About not worshiping and idolizing TV preachers. I didn't watch the video. I just saw the title there, and it just made me think. It's like, wow. You know, if you think about it, that's about the size of a lot of people will idolize them. They worship them, adore them. Their word is as if God spoke from Mount Sinai. It's true. You got on YouTube's all kinds of people who will either preach the TV minister, preacher or whatever, okay, or their own preachers, that they have in their church, or organization or whatever it is. They will put them up on the pedestal, and they are either put up above God or equal with God. And that it's like as if they wrote this. Yeah, that's the way they treat it. From their actions, some of them, I wish that some of them could really, oops, sorry about that, bumped the table. Anyway, if they could just take just makes you wish they could really see themselves and hear themselves. If they could really observe themselves and hear what they sound like, I'm kind of wondering, would they still continue to be that way? I believe that if a person is honest and really loves God, I believe they would change. But for those who's just in it for the money or just to socialize, they won't change. You got people who will do that. They'll go to church and rub shoulders with everybody just to socialize. It's like, that's not what going to church, that's not what church is for. You're not there to rub shoulders and see who's hot and who's got what's the latest fashion, what's the latest in the stocks, and all that kind of stuff. It's not a business. It's not fashion shows. It's not any of those things, and it's not about worshiping the preachers. But that's what happens. And I find that a shame. I've sat there, and a lot of you, my brothers and sisters, have seen this on YouTube. But you've seen it on TV. You've seen it out there all around you, down in your neighborhood, at the different churches. And sometimes you would hear some of your brothers and sisters at the church, talking about, oh, preacher so-and-so. It's one thing to say that a person to say, well, I like so-and-so, I like his message or something, but it's a constant thing. This goes way beyond that. I'm not talking about where someone says, well, I like Preacher Jim Bob. I think he's pretty cool, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where they sit there and like he says Preacher Jim Bob said this and this and this and this and that's the way it is, and that's what we're going to do. And they all listen to them. If they're preaching prosperity, and about being greedy, well, they love that. Well, and they worship them. Why can't they see you're not? Those preachers didn't die for you. He didn't die for me. There was only one who did that for all mankind. And that was Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. Okay? But, we need to take stock of our life on everything that we do and ask ourselves questions. And, if maybe if you could videotape yourself while you're watching TV or these preachers or someone, that every time you go talking about these preachers, and if you could just hear yourself. And, if you could just see and hear what you look like and what you sound like, you'll find that you very little you ever talking about the Lord. You will a little bit, but all you hear is preacher so and so, preacher so and so, preacher so and so, preacher so and so. That's it. Or prophet so and so, or apostle so and so, and reverend so and so, etc., etc., etc. So, what? Who is your God? Is it El Shaddai? Yahweh? Is it the Lord God Most High? Or is it Preacher Jim Bob? Or one of those TV evangelists and things. Is that all you think about? And so, you got to really think about where your priority is. And, that is, that, when I saw that title for that video, I thought, that's a good point. And it's the truth. There's people out there who worship these preachers, and they idolize them, they set them way up there, and we shouldn't do that. And we need to also, with our own lives, to be humble. Humble don't mean you're up here looking down on the lowly peasants, no. But we need to take a look at our lives. Okay? So we have to examine and look. And if you can think of a way that you could just catch yourself and what you look like and what you sound like when you're going on all about these preachers, maybe you would change. So maybe you would change for the better. Maybe you would stop doing that and start putting the Lord's name up there. Because Preacher Jim Bob, he's not going to save you. He can't save you. And he's not going to get rid of your problems. All he's going to do for you is create a problem, because you have set him up as a god. And that is a problem. That is idolatry. But whatever things that's going on there in our lives, we need to take a look. We need to ask ourselves questions and see where we really stand. Alright. I just thought I would mention that, and I hope you have a good night. I'm thinking about, as soon as I get done finishing editing this video, I'm going to hit the old sack. So, shalom, aho, kukeu. Hey, God bless you all. Aho.